All right, we are on air. Happy Thursday, everybody. This is May 31st. This particular meeting is to check in on outreach tasks for Backdrop CMS. This is our first meeting with a new dog. So anyone who's not here now, missing out, but watch the video later and say hi to Callie. She really likes the dragon. Okay, so community outreach. First item on our list here is the website. We have some changes coming to the modules, themes, layout pages. Those things relate to the visual display of those items as well as people's ability to search. Blog posts on the website. We've had a couple of great blog posts recently. We had a good one from Rick that was intro to using Backdrop and DDEV together, which is great. I've switched to using DDEV for a couple of my projects and I found it's going pretty well. They're super receptive to feedback and input. So if there's something you want to do and it doesn't, they make a ticket and they come up with releases all the time. So I definitely have been getting a lot out of it, which is fun. Let's see. Upcoming blog posts. We are currently working with the Software Freedom Conservancy to get all of our PayPal forms moved over to them and that sort of thing. So in the next week or so, you'll probably see a blog post on our website letting everyone know that that change has been complete and soliciting donations via the new system. New donations will be tax deductible, so that's a good benefit for our users. So we'll get the details sorted out and announce that soon. And then Nate, I know you had a blog post you wanted to write very specifically related to us joining the Conservancy. If you don't have time to do it, the folks at Facet Interactive have offered to write the blog post for you if you would write down a bulleted list of points that you want covered. And so if they can write a draft, you can modify it and make sure it sounds like it's in your voice and covers everything. But we need the list. So depending on your time, I don't know if you had a little extra time this week. If you want to do it yourself, you can. If you don't want to do it yourself, we have help available. Someone, I think it was Mike, also mentioned recently that it would be great for us to better communicate Backdrop security process. That's a question we get a lot when we do talks about Backdrop. People want to know how our security system works. And on our website, we have a security advisories page where we announce everything that's related. But we don't have a page that explains our security process. And so I think there's an issue in the queue. I asked for potential language for that, but that also could be something that anyone on the security team could write up. So Nate, I know you probably don't have time, but we could have, I don't know, anyone who's been involved in a security release contribute to that post as well. That will become a page in our About section, I would guess. And I think we should still have the most recent security advisories on that page, but it should be more of a like informational, like how Backdrop handles security sort of process. And I thought that might be nice to go along with a blog post. So if we want to write a blog post about the security process and say, hey, for more information, here's a page on how we handle it that details everything, that could be useful too. We're, of course, still working on community spotlights. So as people have time, we will try and get those up to highlight some great things that are going on with people in our community. And then we will continue to announce new Backdrop releases. So there's a post up there for Backdrop 110. We'll have another one when Backdrop 111 comes out. The blog is also a place where anyone who is interested in sharing Backdrop-related news can do so. Anyone who has an account on backdropcms.org can draft a blog post, and we usually review them about once a week. If there's something else we want to stay published for a period of time, we might postpone the blog post for a week before we publish it. A great example of that was Rick's blog post on DDEV came out the same week as our post on the Backdrop release of 110. And so we said, hey, is it okay if we post this next week? Because we want people to know about the new version. And he said, yeah, that was fine. So that's what will happen. There isn't usually a lot of critiquing and reviewing of those blog posts. We did that initially, and we decided that it wasn't beneficial to take away people's individual voices. So in general, we'll do a little QA and make sure spelling is correct and there isn't anything in there that is going to be offensive to anyone. But for the most part, if you have some information you want to share, you're welcome to post on our site. All right, we are also working on a newsletter. Everybody's probably on the mailing list got a GDPR update reminder that just said, hey, we need you to consent that we have your consent. So we are planning on sending another newsletter here in the next week or so that'll announce Backdrop 110, and hopefully we'll have a couple new ones in the future relating to Software Freedom Conservancy and tax-deductible donations. We might do another one for our security blog post if and when we get that ready. And then we have a lot of systems that Backdrop's working with. I thought it might be fun to do sort of how Backdrop integrates with a larger world style blog post and maybe newsletter that might talk about Fastly integration or Stripe or CityCRM or anything that's a different system that Backdrop can integrate with. We could have kind of a fun post on that. So if anyone wants to write a blog post and doesn't have an idea, that's an idea. We also have a issue tag called newsletter. So if there's anything you specifically want to see in the newsletter, add a comment or an issue in the queue for backdropcms.org, and we'll take a look at it. I know that's not the best place to manage what goes into a newsletter, but that's the place we have right now. There's an issue number 177 that specifically focuses on what should be in our newsletters in general. But you can also use the tag newsletter. Videos. I know Laren's been making a couple of great intro videos for Backdrop recently. He's got 3 sort of how to install. He's got something on layouts, and I think there's something new I haven't seen yet. I know he has 3 videos up already on Backdrop. If anyone else wants to make videos on Backdrop, let us know about it somehow. Use the email address on backdropcms.org or the contact form or Twitter, and we would love to get that added into our YouTube channel. We have a couple of designated YouTube channels. One of them is sort of training videos. One of them is featured presentations, and one of them are just things we found on the internet that we think might be of value to others. So if you make a video and you want it curated, let us know and we'll throw it into one of those lists. New things I think it would be great to have on YouTube. How to update a Pantheon site. Right now, there's a couple of caveats with running Backdrop on Pantheon. The most major being that you have to run update.php on your Backdrop site. You can't do it from the Pantheon dashboard. So I thought it would be great to make a video on that. And now that 1.10.1 has been pushed to Pantheon, we're in a great place to make one of those videos. So that should be a quick, 2 to 5 minute thing for how to update a Backdrop site on Pantheon, which I thought would go really well with our documentation page on how to update a Backdrop site on Pantheon. Someone else also asked how to port tests from Drupal to Backdrop. That's something that is a little bit different. I thought that might make a good video, especially if we had a great module that didn't have 100 tests, but had one that had all of the things that you need to update, Drupal to Backdrop and various other things like getting the tests.info file working. But that could be fun. And then I wanted to do one on unbranded pages. If anyone else gets to it first, that's fine, but it's one of my favorite things about Backdrop is the ability to throw away the header and footer and create a page you can do anything you want with. Anything else people really love about Backdrop? Great ideas would be new features that were included in Backdrop 110, but also anything that may have existed in Backdrop before that you just discovered and want to show off. You want to do a little 2-minute video. Anything tweetable and easily digestible is really great for us. Speaking of tweeting, I'm always wondering what we should be tweeting about, what our audience on Twitter is generally interested in. We've got a couple of ideas right now for things to tweet, but if there's anything we're hearing or anything you're hearing us say that you wish we would say less, let us know. We have an issue for that too. It's issue number 439 in the backdropcms.org queue, and we try and stay on top of that and make sure that everybody's getting the news that they want to get via Twitter. Let's see, we did recently reach out to the PHP mailing list and get Backdrop sent to anyone who's wondering what's going on in the world of PHP, but we would love other things that are related to Backdrop to talk about Backdrop 2. Again, this is where we're really aware of our own world, but not super aware of what's going on outside the world of Backdrop. So the more we can collaborate with other people and get information spread via other sources, that is better than us just saying the same things over and over again. So if anyone has any ideas of places where we should be talking about Backdrop or asking people to talk about Backdrop, we are always all ears. Events. So next event is next weekend. Next weekend, Twin Cities Drupal Camp in Minneapolis. We have a training on Thursday. It's an all-day training. It's free. We've got a couple signups already, but I think there's still space. If you're interested, check out the Twin Cities Drupal Camp website. There's also going to be a session on Backdrop. I'm not sure if it's been scheduled yet, but it'll probably be Friday or Saturday. And Twin Cities Drupal Camp is one of my favorite Drupal camps. It's a big, lively group of fantastic Drupal people. So if you're interested in attending a Drupal camp next weekend and are willing to travel or in the Minneapolis area, that's a great one. All right, this meeting is specifically about community outreach. If you are interested in our content strategy for Backdrop, there's also an issue for that. It's issue 349 in the backdropcns.org queue that outlines the kind of information we'd like to have created and distributed and which channels that should go through, whether it's the website or a video or a newsletter. If there's anything you think you can help with in terms of creating content, that's something us developers are not very good at, and we would love help in that area. So that content strategy map could give you some ideas on kinds of things that we could use help with. So just a little pitch to go check that out. That's all I have for community outreach. Is there anything you want to add, Nate?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for running through everything.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. I can see there's some viewers right now. Tell all your friends there's a dog, so you should watch this video. And then you can help us with content strategy.
All right. Let's call it a meeting then.
Bye.
Okay, thanks. Goodbye.